Daryl. 1:42 in the morning, West Coast time. It's the 3rd of April, 2024. Yeah, the first one I was just going crazy on something that you're talking about, and everything else that opened up like a damn floodgate. Everything just went, bleh, and here we go. Oh yeah, trying to stay out of the damn politics because right now that's still making me sick to my stomach. I did not want to get into the situation like I was last month. Dude, that scares me every time I'm not doing anything correctly like that. It's like I'm failing Ma or Dave. But even when Ma was dealing with the late rent, at least she was able to negotiate with management or the landlord, basically. I mean, there was always some person we dealt with. One guy we actually had before moving out here to Antelope Valley. Before he was going to be moving out himself and getting the hell out of the valley himself, he was also going to be selling the property we had, but it gave us first choice to buy it, or at least a leasing option on it. But the first down payment we couldn't even come up with. It was bad enough that the rent rate got raised to the point where after 12 or 13 years, we couldn't pay for it. It was like a 5% increase, and it got to the level where we couldn't deal with it. So we had to leave. It wasn't a bad place to live. I liked it. Despite the fact it got damaged in the '94 earthquake. But shit, what the hell? And here's the thing that scared the hell out of me. Earthquakes? I'm a native out here, dude. I have to deal with it on a constant basis. That anytime now we're going to have a little small shake here. 2 or 3, okay, no problem. I just blow them off, no problem. 4, may catch my attention, but not much. 5, yeah, that'll catch my attention. 6 and beyond, yeah, you've got my full attention at that point, and my blood pressure goes skyrocketing. They had the 71 earthquake, 1971 earthquake out in Sylmar. I was in San Fernando Valley living during that time. North Hollywood. Maybe not this time. I'll be doing that on you, but in the San Fernando Valley, I lived in there. And in the northern part of it, we have a town called Sylmar. We had a fault line running through there that erupted. The freeway system we had concerning about the 5 going northbound and the 14 Desert Freeway going through the Antelope Valley and into portions beyond. Well, the 514 collapsed in 1971. It's like a year after my damn heart surgery that I had to have a heart attack. The ground's shaking like crazy. Shall we do this again? Shall we do this again? Am I going to drive you crazy on this one? Let's drive you crazy on this one. Not alternative dimensions or anything else like that. This is just real stuff. Shall we go to Google Maps? Let's go to Google Maps, okay? So we go to Google Maps. My default is usually the Antelope Valley. So I'm going to switch it over to the North Hollywood. You know, you can honestly see the San Andreas fault line and the angles. Antelope Valley is running right through it. You can actually see that damn thing. Right in a wedge. Gotta love geology. Scares the fuck out of people left and right. So here we are. We have the San Andreas fault line, but we also have other mini fault lines going through the San Fernando Valley that you never see or hear. So I'm taking you to where it's Hansen Dam. Was that it? No, Van Orman Dam. Okay, so that's up in the northern portion of it. So if you kind of look at the San Fernando Valley in the northern section, and you'll see some lakes. Kind of scroll over there. It'll be the dark spots. Scroll up a little bit further. Certain areas on the right-hand side, don't worry about them. They used to have lakes. They used to have big freaking lakes on the east side. Hansen Dam area. Well, before we actually had the drought kicking in and everything else got plowed over and changed over. But the one I want to show you was the dam that people were having a conniption fit over, the dark blue spot in the northern portion of it, right by the 5 and the 14, right by the 5 and the 118 freeway and the 210, that nice dark blue spot. That's the Van Orman Dam. People had conniption fits over this one back in 71 because they were afraid that damn thing was going to go bust. There was already a lot fuller during those days. They were afraid that the construction of that was so weak. If they seen any cracks in the foundations of it, and I think they did, they were jumping up and down on this one and telling the valley, be warned, we may have flooding. That's a lot of gallons, dude. Sorry. Last night's dinner's still affecting me these days. Word of advice. If your system cannot deal with onions, don't eat them for dinner or have them part of dinner. Yeah. It's just gas. I'm gross. I'm sorry. Apologies. This place, regarding the water situation, that's a lot of water that we have over there for emergency storage, but they were afraid back in 1971 when we actually had Sylmar earthquake happening. It was ruining a lot of things. I mean, we're talking about 7172, 7.1, 7.2. So some of the buildings that we had over there, there were medical facilities, including what they called the Olive View Medical Center out there. It's a county-run facility out here, actually in the San Fernando Valley, where if you needed to go somewhere and you didn't have that much money, well, you'd go over there and fill up the place. It was terrifying those days because we actually had several buildings in the area regarding the Olive View, and a lot of it had been destroyed. It had taken them a decade or two just to get the damn thing rebuilt all over again. Different construction materials, different outlook, but it was still there. It was terrifying in those days. We were living in North Hollywood at the time. I wanted to bring you out to that area. If you can look at North Hollywood, just type out North Hollywood in the Google Map bar there. Yeah. You'll be seeing that, well, it's changed over the past God knows how many decades since I've been away from this place, but even while I was living over there, it was changing, mutating left and right. It was sandwiched between the 170 Hollywood Freeway and the 405 San Diego Freeway. And we were on the west side of Van Nuys Boulevard. But, let's see, we were on the east side of Van Nuys Boulevard. We were also west side of Laurel Canyon. Okay, so that gives me a basis where to look at. And concerning about the train corridor, I think we're below that. So yeah, residential areas, real heavy. I've been in this area far too long that the computer's starting to recognize where the hell I'm going at half the time anyway. But I'm using certain areas as a landmark. Junior high that has a green field in it. Okay, so in some of the area, we have our drainage canals that transport all the wastewater coming from the streets into the channels and out to sea, or mostly going through the processing station that we have out in Sepulveda Dam area, trying to reclaim that water as well. I tell you, if I happen to use Google Earth, I could see the older stuff in black and white. And that's just an emotional kick to me on that one. One of the drainage rivers that we have was going through Coldwater, Sherman Way, Victory area. I was on the street called Van Owen. I think I talked to you about this one a while ago. because this was close to home. Uh, there's a small street called Ethel that's bordering the Madison Madison Junior High, or it's called Madison Middle School now. But when my brother was going through it, and we were living in the area, it was called Madison Junior High. It's that green area I told you about, that green elongated area with some of the classrooms. Kind of looks like it's a, I don't know. But there's a small side street called Ethel, Ethel, and Van On. An apartment complex with a swimming pool in the middle of it, at least back then. It just looks like it's got a rectangular hole in it. But that's how the apartment was made. Right in the middle of it would have been the swimming pool. So when we actually had the 71 earthquake happening, it was shaking up a lot of places left and right on this one. Not to the point where we're going to be devastating the entire area, but just enough to have that swimming pool flood out the manager's office. They're on the lower level, and they became a swamp. Imagine when the surface is going bang, 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 bang in your apartment complex. And you've got double bunk beds. It's very hard to get off those damn things and leaping over to the corridor, the hallway, for safety. But my brother and I did. It was terrifying. I never liked earthquakes, but that was my first experience of earthquakes. Since then, yeah, I never liked them afterwards. And I'm a native. What the hell can I say? But seeing that, seeing that apartment, it was bringing back memories of what the hell I've been through, which is leading up to what the hell happened back in Taiwan. You heard about the 7.4? Lucy Jones is a seismologist that is a native out here in California. She came on the scene when we actually had the 94 quake, or maybe a little bit earlier than that. So she and another lady named McCain Hudson, they both worked at one time, I think, for USGS, United States Geologic Survey. But I think also Lucy Jones was more associated with Caltech seismology lab that we had out here. And these ladies were on television telling us about the latest misadventures about California and their earthquake situations and what the hell we were going through for God knows how long, decades. 4 decades. So when the earthquake kicked in of Taiwan, 7.4 off the coast, actually through a town in Taiwan. I was seeing some of the buildings in there. Dr. Jones was pretty much impressed that the Taiwanese actually had a stronger building code than California did. Because of the area the geologic area that they're in. I'm scrolling over to get a larger map of the United States, and I'm going to get it smaller than that, and I'm going to maneuver on Google Earth to Taiwan. But I wanted to get a generalized view of Pacific. Okay. We live in an area called the Ring of Fire. Basically, the Earth is eggshells on a sea of lava, basically. We got areas creating volcanoes left and right. We have shifting of plates left and right. So it does do a hell of a lot of damage. Alaska is one of the major hotspots we have in the United States that still has a lot of earthquakes happening and volcanism, a lot of volcanic activity out in the area. So it's very scary sometimes. Breathtaking, beautiful, but it's still terrifying as hell. Even Hawaii is having that situation. if I happen to look at Google Maps and I see the seafloor, what they've already got mapped on here, I can see the rises of land masses, both submerged and above water. See the island chain kind of stretched out on a north by northwest heading, going up a bit, slanted. But all this is a volcanic activity. We are living on one huge, active, dynamic planet. Japan gets a hell of a lot of activity because that is an active area that they have, both subduction zone and production area, basically of the Earth. Subduction is basically when you got the plates going underneath each other, and it does create a hell of a lot of friction and a lot of volcanic material coming up, molten rock, basically. So out in Taipei, they were feeling it. They were feeling it. And it's terrifying when you happen to see some of this stuff in action because it's like, whoa, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? We're seeing what's happening. I mean, Taipei shook, but the thing is, they didn't. They had some in one particular town. What the hell is it? Are we done? I can just get the damn name of the town over here. Let me find on that one. Keelung. That was the one. Keelung. Okay, so they didn't have that much modern construction, but they did have it over there. But they had the fault line running right through it. They have modern, up to speed, up to specs, beyond California regarding their construction material. They weathered it, a 7.4. Out here, if we actually get a 7.4, we're FUBAR. We are fouled up beyond all recognition. I heard about that 7.4. I'm thinking there's going to be a hell of a lot of damage out there. But there wasn't that much damage. At least they still dealt with it. And it's still terrifying because every time I keep hearing about the damn earthquakes, my blood pressure goes up. And so does my nerves. I said before, I've been living in California far too damn long. I kept joking with people left and right concerning about the hazards that they face, including you. But the thing is, I don't think I'd be able to deal with the weather extremes. It's not roasting like crazy. It's freezing like crazy. I don't think my joints could be able to deal with that crap. No, I don't think I would. 60 degrees is almost kind of nice anyway for t-shirts. We're still a little chilled about it. To you, 60 degrees is different because your body's already adapted to the temperature extremes that you're dealing with. 70 degrees is like, okay, fine. Almost a little sweat, but no problem. 80s, we're starting to sweat like crazy. 90s, we're melting. 100 degrees, well, we're dead. We're melted pools, puddles of goo. We're just goo. Sorry. We're goo all over the place when it comes down for 100 degrees. We've got people dying from lack of air conditioning, not enough liquids going down in their bodies to keep them hydrated. Oh, yeah. Real fun times. Real fun times. Okay, so that being said, I heard about the earthquake and I was trying not to have a conniption fit at that point because it was still terrifying as hell. But all I could hear in the news was basically politics, politics, politics. My God. It was definitely needed when you were talking about fantasy and dreams and quantum theory at the same time. Because many worlds theory, that's quantum. We didn't have a description of the damn thing growing up either on the West Coast. So we didn't hear about quantum theory until what, about 80s or 90s or something like that when they were coming out with it. and then string theory and some other kind of theory. I don't know how many theories that we have concerning about this stuff. Okay, Google it. All right, list. Uh, astro. Wait a second. Astrophysical. Uh, okay. Probably go over to physics.mit.edu on this one. I know I could go to Google Earth on. I actually got Wikipedia on that one too. Well, what the hell? But we've got so much theories out there. It's hard to keep track of this crap. It's a lot of information we have out there concerning this stuff. Shut up, stomach. Theoretical astronomy. Wasn't that the one you were also trying to reach? Everyone keeps talking about this one and talking about that one, and it's like, I really need to get a listing of all this stuff because it is going well beyond my own expectations. Just trying to understand all this damn stuff. Okay. Oh, that one. I'm getting out of MIT. They're just too damn confusing for me. So, stick with Wiki. How about that one? But it does list out some of the stuff that. Okay. Observable phenomena, radiations, all sorts. I want to know about all this damn string theory that we have. Stellar dynamics, galaxy formation. Here we go. Astronomical models. This ought to throw you for a loop. Nuclear fission, Big Bang. Okay, there's that one. I was trying to see anything else. Expanding universe. Okay. Cosmic inflation, general relativity, quantum fluctuations, gravitational collapse, X-ray astronomy. Wait, there's more terminology to drive us crazy with. Good lord. Dark energy, dark matter, space-time phenomena. God bless it. I just don't know what the hell to make out of all of this stuff. I tell you now, it's gone well beyond me looking at the Book of Cosmos written by Carl Sagan. He's trying to keep it level back in the 80s to where the general public can understand what they're talking about. Watching that series growing up and then reading the book on the thing, I thought I was a know-it-all. These days, looking at the new stuff that they actually had out, I mean, over the past 30 years or more than that, I kept going to the library and also to bookstores to peruse. And before I got rid of my own damn library here because of mishaps, I had a library. I had a mini library here that would drive people crazy with different topics and stuff, including about astronomy and physics, astrophysics, and everything else going on with it. It's just, I'm not quite sure what the hell to talk to people about when it comes down for what we're talking about, besides the quantum theory realm. How do you talk about the multiple theories that we've got? How the universe was formed, how the universe is functioning, with or without dark matter, with or without these energetic things called strings that interlaced in our own cosmic inner universe here. It's bad enough when I was talking to people about black holes and what limited information we knew about black holes, and now we know more about it. We're still learning more about it. I mean, hell, there's sites on YouTube about this stuff, and reading about it and just understanding it. I was trying to get as much as I could concerning about what I knew about math and sciences and everything else for that math class of mine, just to dazzle the professor and the students like I knew something about it, but I don't know anything about it. I'm a common layman guy. Didn't like math all that much, but had to use math like crazy. I didn't realize I was using algebra until I was coming into that class and then realizing I was using algebra. And me and math and logic didn't work. Never did. Excuse me one second. Didn't want to blow out your eardrums there, pal. See, what I was trying to talk about in a previous video, without going off on a deep end like I did, I was trying to tell people, you get to slump us some money over here, but you got to parcel this shit out here. You got to figure out how much you got and how much you're going to be able to spend. And there's calculations for this damn thing. I didn't realize I was using algebra. Not even when I was taking accounting classes at a business college. I didn't realize there was a little bit of algebra in there. I don't think my mother even realized it, but if she did, she'd be impressed with herself during those days. She was a real whiz when it came down for math. Not advanced degrees like anything in particle physics or anything else like that. But she knew accounting. She was trying to teach that to me a great deal, and I didn't pick up on it. I had this strong reluctance concerning about mathematics, and yet I was going to be a cashier. Cashier has to still use mathematics just to figure the shit out. But they got this one way of figuring out the change being added to people, and for some of them it's like, oh, it's no problem. For me, it's like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I got to take a look at the screen, and then I got to figure out how much of each particular piece of coin and paper I got to hand to the customer at this point. Holy shit. I mean, people would have to count it back. I mean, here's the money that you got. You're giving me 10. So let me add up to this one, up to this point. What are we owing? I mean, here's the amount due. Here's the amount that you're giving me. The computer's already giving me the amount that I can just give out to the customer. So all I got to do is for connection. But no, counting it back? Counting it back. You kidding me? My brain and myself were like, huh? God bless. I struggle with customer service and cashiering all my life on that damn thing. I didn't know what the hell I was suited for, to tell you the truth. But I needed work, so it was work. How's that one for you? That blather enough for you? Great, because I'm going back to bed. See if I can sleep out for another couple more hours. Get back up again. And get ready for a Zoom call with my therapist this morning. I sent her a few blitherings from my own channel. My own blatherings. Blithering, blatherings are still the same thing. I'm still trying to tell her what the hell is going on and how much of a screwed up person I am. With the politics, we can try to get into other things and what other people are getting themselves into. Sometimes I wonder, it's kind of hard to be an adult in this time and age because we're dealing with so many kids in adult bodies. We don't even know what the hell we're doing anymore, do we? You want to talk about geology? I could talk about Iceland and their issues at this point. I'm still trying to keep up to speed on that. Several months have had lava flows happening, threatening places left and right. But that whole damn place is made of lava anyway, so. What else is going on these days? Anyway, I'll send these things out. I'll get them labeled up. Probably get them in the afternoon. I gotta go back to bed.